вот уже треть жителей США в возрасте от 18 до 24 лет верят, что Земля плоская, а почти 15% американцев в возрасте за 30 с ними согласны.
Никому не нравится чувство, что мы находимся на маленьком шарике, который несется сквозь Вселенную. Да, закроют программы с астрофизическим и космическим уклоном. Оставшиеся естественные науки, как биология, геология, океанология, археология и другие, должны быть полностью обновлены.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat!
He's an interesting guy, man, and, you know, he believes it, so. Kyrie, the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever.
Earth is flat, that's news.
That's news. There we go.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with the mainstream scientific community. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is waiting for his newest edition of GPS World to read the exciting article of how GPS can disprove the flat Earth. Probably as true as the 1957 Popular Mechanics that said in 10 years, 1967, everyone could buy a hover car for the price of a good car. Where's my hover car? Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, then you are not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And if it is not July 10th, 2018, you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day: all things considered equal, contradictory theories are the cornerstone screwed that one up. Cornerstone to scientific discoveries. And that's from the Peanut Gallery on Strange World. The Mark Sargent 2018 Flat Earth Challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war from Flat Earth against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a NASA-approved self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. For more information on this, please check out Flat Earth Clues 13, The Lost Nail. Tonight is going to be a call-in show. Next week, we are probably going to have, cross my fingers because I spoke with him this evening, a United States Army scout from 19 Delta who specialized in the LRAS system, LRAS. You can check that out and get excited for next week. Hopefully I can encourage him to come on. The phone number to call in tonight, 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Or the old number works just fine. That's 720-897-6111. That goes to the same place. If you're in the UK, like the UK ever calls, don't forget to dial the country code, and then dial 44203-393-2871. And the dial-in number, what is the dial-in number? Listen-in call-in number is it 641-793-7117? He asked the Peanut Gallery. We don't know. Drink tea. Why would I drink tea? That's going to help me, drinking tea? Yeah, okay, that's the right number. Okay, good. Excellent. And yes, there's calls lining up already, and I will get to them in just a second, but I want to spend just a minute or two reading an email that was sent to me, and it's probably the last time I read it. I don't think I'm going to read it on Patricia's show tomorrow on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, which will be at 3 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And Peanut Gallery is correcting me. The listen number is 701-719-4853. That's 701-719-4853 if you don't want to talk to me, if you want to absolutely make sure. But some of you, I think you're just doing it to mess with me. You call and you let me pick you up. It's like, oh, sorry, I'm working. Can't talk. Just put me back on mute. That's fine. I'm not going to give you too much hell for that. The email that was sent to me was called Disappointed by Clue 14. For those of you who don't remember, I released Clue 14 from the Flat Earth Clue series just recently. It was called The Coat of Credibility, and this guy reviewed it briefly. So that's what I'm going to read. Dear Mark, okay to read on air, always important. Clue 13 was phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. Clue 14 was well done and keeping in style with the other clues. It made excellent points and provided a good discussion about Bill Nye and other quote-unquote scientists. However, I was rather disappointed that there was no mention of the Stanley Milgram experiment. That's Milgram. And if you're old enough, you know what experiment I'm talking about here. We can no longer do such an experiment, but it was allowed and performed back in the 1960s. Under the orders of a man in a white coat, up to 2 out of 3 of the subjects continued administering shocks at increasing levels to the point of death. Shocks and death were faked, but the subjects didn't know this. If you are not familiar with the experiment, please see this article and short embedded video. And of course, I knew what he was talking about, but you can look it up. Just type in Milgram experiment. You'll find it. Why is this important? Because it would have given this Clue 14 the home run that you achieved with Clue 13 and the others. The experiment shows that human beings are likely to do almost anything, including killing another human being just because an authority figure has ordered them to do so. You know I love your work and very appreciative of all the hard work, long hours, and relentless dedication to this community. I have the highest respect for you and all the other major players in FE. Yes, you too, Patricia. So please do not be offended by this small piece of constructive criticism. Please take it in stride. Perhaps you can make a companion video or discuss it on a secret show or strange world. Milgram has clearly demonstrated the power of the white coat. Wishing you all the best, Jack Frost. And yeah, he's got a point, but at the same time, that particular experiment, and I know full well, and that and many others, and many other products that were rushed to market by the scientific community, which hurt and killed a lot of people. But I didn't want to go down that road. I wanted to keep it light. I didn't want to, people to watch the Code of Credibility and then say, hey, you're like harshing on my mellow being all Captain Bringdown and stuff. It was too easy to go down that dark path. I felt it was more of a challenge to keep it somewhat light. So that's why I did it. But again, it wasn't meant to be an all-inclusive thing. It was literally about the coat. And that experiment showed the power of authority more than anything, even more than the coat. Those guys could have been wearing tweed jackets. They could have been wearing suits. As long as they were dressed somewhat neatly And even they could have been disheveled. They still probably would have achieved the same sort of results. But I get exactly what he's talking about here. And so if anyone wants to, by all means, look up the Milgram experiment. I'm not going to go into great detail into it now. It shows the dark side of what basically followers will do. And when they think that the responsibility has been taken away from them, it's like, you know what, I'm not as long as I'm not going to get in trouble for it, you can order me to do anything. It's the soldiers thing. It's what we tell soldiers all the time. You're under orders to do horrible things to the enemy. You are not responsible for it. Nothing legal is going to happen to you. Now, psychologically, you may be really, really messed up, but legally, nothing bad is going to happen to you. And that's what happened with this experiment. People are going, am I legally off the hook here? Yeah. Okay, fine. I will do whatever you say. It's an interesting concept. So there you go. That was the one email I wanted to read. And let's get right to the calls. There's a whole bunch of them. Let's pick up Ontario, Canada first. There's a couple from Canada. We'll pick up Canada, then maybe Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, Florida, another California, and then we'll see what we can do. Here we go. 905 area code. You are on with Strange World right now. What's on your mind?
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
So I agree with what you're saying about you don't want to harsh the mellow.
Right.
And I love that quote, by the way.
Yeah.
That should be tomorrow's hashtag on hot potatoes at the end of the show. Don't harsh the mellow.
Don't harsh. Yeah.
Anyway,
Don't harsh on my mellow, man. Yeah. Anyway, what do you got?
The actual question is about fireworks.
Yeah.
So some people were talking at work about how the fireworks annoy the local wildlife and the birds and all that stuff.
Right.
And they were talking about silent fireworks. Like,
okay.
Is that a thing?
Well, they're not, but and believe me, you've come to the right man. I know just about everything. I there's a reason why I don't even do fireworks now. I did a lifetime supply of fireworks before I even went off to university. I did a lot. So yes, there are fireworks that are much, much quieter than others. Fountains are very quiet. Rockets without a payload are very quiet. Not bottle rockets, of course. Anything with a report, anything that's got a bang is going to be louder than other stuff. Pinwheels can be fairly quiet, but yeah, there's some, they're usually the safe and sane stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of fountains.
We're talking about a big show.
Oh, a big show?
This is a big show over top of, it's being shot out from, like a barge on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If we're talking about production, we're talking 3-inch, 6-inch, 9-inch, 12-inch mortar shells. You basically, the first thing you have to do, of course, is to pull out all the explosives. So anything that makes a really big bang, you pull those all out. That reduces your noise levels by probably 75-80%. Then you can buy shells that are quieter. You just use the quietest shells that you have. And it can be fairly, no, it's not going to be dead silent, of course. And it takes a lot of the fun out of it.
Well, no, there's got to be something.
Yeah, there's got to be something. But yeah, that's the big thing, which is you just pull out the heavy explosives. Then they can call it a silent show if they want. And it's mostly pretty stuff and the pops. You'll hear some pops up in the air, but yeah, they will not mess with wildlife. The thing that messes with wildlife are called reports, and those are just simulated artillery. It's just a really, really big bang. It's a whole bunch of powder that doesn't have to do anything pretty. I have launched a whole bunch of those things, and yeah, so that's as close as you can get to a silent show.
Because they were saying that the quiet ones are actually like brighter and nicer to look at compared to the super loud ones. And I've never heard of this before.
Well, no, it's because the term isn't used much. In fact, I've never heard it called silent. I mean, it's really pretty versus noisy. And it's done for very compartmentalized reasons. And that is, I'm not going to pick on women. A lot of women like the pretty stuff. And a lot of men, it's like, I mean, look, I'm telling you, because most of my customers, when I was doing illegal fireworks back in the day, were male. Like, I never ran into a female buyer the entire time, and not one. And so, men love that heavy boom. It's that whole masculine, yeah, let's blow stuff up. Versus women, it's like, oh, look at that. That's purple. You see that? It's purple. Yeah. So anyway.
Because I mean, I've worked on the Made on the Mist, and during the middle of a thunderstorm, and that was one of the coolest things you can ever experience.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The echo is just amazing.
Yeah. God's fireworks. Yeah. I love a good thunderstorm, and I know that wildlife hate it and domesticated animals really, really hate it. But wow, it's a heck of a display.
Yep. But that was pretty much it.
Okay.
Just a question about the fireworks. So sorry to go off rails off the bat.
I don't mind. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Mark. Do you know is Zulu doing his thing tonight?
Yeah.
Because,
refresh. As far as I know, let me look around.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep. He's totally doing his thing.
We're good.
All right.
Yeah. I was listening to Paul on the plane before you on the TFR thing, and was just a little bit late.
Right on. I love back flat Earth stuff. Shout out. Go ahead.
Well, Zulu's crew, everybody that's in there, Patricia, Carl, we got Michelle, Joey, Chris, Jimmy. That's everyone who's on the screen at the moment. There's Candy. So yeah.
Of course.
Shout out to everybody at Zulu's party.
All right, man.
Listen to TFR, but watch the YouTube. Hey, Cammy. All right. Bye, Mark. Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bob's got to be there, too.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off. There's a delay. Sorry about that. All right, let's jump right over to 215 area code. 215. Hopefully I picked you up the right way. Are you there? And what are we talking about?
What up, Mark? How you doing, man? It's been a while.
I am doing well. Getting ready for a busy end of the year. A couple of conferences and perhaps a new meetup down in Los Angeles. What's up?
You're going down to LA. Nice. It's Space is Fake, Sean from Pontius area.
Oh, right on.
I just wanted to say hi and keep doing what you're doing. I did have one topic I wanted to bring up in case, I don't know if you've covered it or not, but have you heard of the jet fuel? The jet fuel thing?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've heard of it, but you can bring it up. That's fine.
Yeah. In case you're any viewers who haven't heard, I mean, there's no way they're putting that tonnage of fuel in those wings. There's just massive amounts of fuel that the integrity of the structure, there's no way that would hold, no matter what. So, the way those engines work is it compresses the air and then they inject a mist of fuel, and that creates combustion that runs a turbine in the back of the engine that runs the whole engine. So most of the thrust is coming from the outer portion of the engine because there's two sets of fans.
Right.
And it just kind of runs off the air itself. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case no one's heard of that. But plane engines, once they're up there, it kind of works like cruise control. It just kind of runs itself.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that a good explanation?
Yeah. But to clarify, only with jets, not single.
Yeah, only big commercial. Yeah,
right.
No, not propellers. Propellers are pure combustion.
Got it.
They're trying to sell it as if it's combustion. They're trying to sell us massive amounts of fuels, and so in the long run, airline tickets should be way cheaper than they are. You know what I mean? It's the way they're charging fuel. They're charging fuel as if they're using all that fuel, which there's no way it's possible.
Right. Got it.
But anyway, I just wanted to kick off the show and say I hope you have a great show. It's been a while since we talked, and shout out to the Chan Zulu doing his thing. Shout out to the Poncha peoples and everyone. You know who you are, and cool. Just have a good show, Mark.
All right. Well, thank you for being so positive, and you have a wonderful rest of your Flat Earth day.
All right, you too, Mark. Peace out.
Okay. Bye-bye. I wonder if that's a thing I should do. Should I be like overly positive, or would people like not buy that? Because sometimes I can be sarcastic. Do you know, by the way, for a number of years before I got the It's Flat license plate, my license plate said Sargent because it was my last name and it was 7 letters. But one of the first choices, because they say, pick 3 choices. My second choice was SGT. But my first choice in one of my applications was sarcasm. And I thought that actually might get me into trouble because it's also 7 letters, but I don't think the police would appreciate it much. Like they pull me over. It's like, okay, funny guy, what do you got to say? Who knows? Anyway, let's jump over to, oh boy, who did I just drop off? Let's pick up Florida. 561? 561 area code. 561, you're on live, A Strange World. What are we talking about this evening? Hello? Florida. Oh, you've got your mute button on, Florida. You're killing me. Don't make me say it.
Hello?
Oh, I almost said it. I almost said it. Yep. Yeah, I was gonna throw the rookie line at you. What's going on?
My bad, mate.
That's okay.
Shout out to I Spy Candy, amazing person. I don't even know who she is, and she's always been awesome to me. I just wanted to say, Mark, you have been so inspirational to me. It is ridiculous. I've been through so much. All right, let me keep my language. I've been through so much.
That's
crap.
okay. It's not a family-friendly station, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Like I've been living through the hood in the past year, and I just came to Lantana, Florida, and finally have, seen the brighter side of things. Like I was in a relationship that I'm a man, and I was abused by a woman who was smaller than me. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But her and her children now know the Earth is flat.
Excellent.
And whatever that means, it means. And I mean, come on. Like life isn't something to subside, isn't something to just give up.
Yeah. I hear you.
I like how you went the flat club thing to the just say it.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
People say what they're gonna say. I'm like this white dude who has been through whatever.
Yeah.
Damn. All you gotta do is just say it. And once you convince people of it, it doesn't leave their mind. Like
it's true.
I didn't even listen to your flat earth news for it must have been like 6 months once I heard about the flat earth stuff, and
right.
once like I listened to Rob Skiba and blah and da, and she kept having those interviews with all these different people, and I kept going on their blah. Like these people all believe it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, they don't believe it. They know it.
Yeah.
And it really struck me, as it should strike everyone. Like I sat there with my parents. I mean, like my dad's a minister and everything, and he thought I was stupid. But once I gave him a couple of the words, when it comes to physical knowledge of it.
He started to come around. Right on. Yeah, and I'm hearing that more and more. What you were saying there, and that is the first rule of Flat Club. Is not to talk about Flat Club, but we've come to the point now where you can talk about it. Oh yeah, you're gonna catch some grief from time to time, no question. But you're not going to be laughed out of the room as quickly as you used to be. That's for sure. Hey, hate to do this to you, but I still got a whole bunch of calls. I want to pick up at least one more before the break. Any shout outs you want to give to?
It's cool, bro. I just want to give a shout out to Zulu One. Like Mark, he's the one who's made me actually like get on spot with everything that has come to do with YouTube and everything. I don't know why, but he inspirates me. All right, mate.
All right, man. Hey, you have a good rest of your night, and don't be shy to call in again, okay?
Will do. All right, bye.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, let's jump over. We're going to do one more before the break, and then after the break, we'll pick up Minnesota and Ohio and could be Coronado, California. But right now, we're going to pick up Alhambra, California. And here's a man who just a couple weeks ago didn't know if he was going to be alive anymore because he was in the hospital. And he's back now with a vengeance and making trouble. I can see already. You didn't even wait. Mere hours, and you're already mixing it up again. That's what I love. Flat Earth soldiers, they do not say die. So what's going on, Josh?
Dude, so after I woke up strapped to that hospital bed,
right.
Apparently I was quite combative with them. So they had to knock me out and restrain me and all kinds of other stuff in the hospital, apparently. I don't know, dude. I lost days. So I have no clue. I blacked out completely. I have no clue. But dude, I'm back, dude. And
I know. I got your email and I saw what you've been doing. You don't even hesitate. It's like, you know what? Let's start messing with people. It's like, wow, that was inspiring.
That happened before we took off to the Salton Sea.
Oh, really?
That happened like a couple of days before we took off to the Salton Sea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in his chat. It was actually after your last show, after we were talking with Bob and everything, and he told me who he was, and so I was just curious. So I just said, all I did was type "Hello, Jacob" in the chat, and he like flipped out on me, and he called me because he went to my channel, and I got my phone number on my channel, and he called me like within like a minute and a half of me typing that in his chat.
Wow.
And he just completely just flipped on me, and now he thinks that this whole thing in the hospital was completely fake. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, I don't know if he really believes that, or if he's just he's trying to get a little payback. Because you being in the hospital, I know more even than you do because I was watching the video feed when the paramedics showed up. They were so I was like, oh yeah, by the way, this is Josh getting taken away. You know, there's lights in the background. It's like, oh, that's awesome. It's great. Hope he lives.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, they put me under a couple times. Apparently, I don't know what that was about. They said I was having trouble breathing and stuff like that. All kinds of crazy stuff. Apparently, it broke down to renal failure, is what it was.
Yeah, that's not good.
Which I know how to combat that. You can combat that with baking soda.
You get about a minute until we go to the break. So whatever you want to do between now and then, go.
No problem, dude. But yeah, dude, you can combat renal failure with just baking soda and distilled water.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, there's so many things that I've learned over the last couple of weeks, mainly from Sydney. She's practically a doctor, dude. She's freaking smart with this crap.
Yeah.
And she taught me a whole bunch of stuff about with the medical stuff and with just berries and herbs and stuff that you can take. It's nuts. And I was like, dude, it's been crazy since I got out. I haven't gotten much sleep since I got out though. I've gotten 12 hours of sleep since I woke up.
Good Lord. All right, well, you're going to get some more sleep because I'm kicking you off because our music's playing in about 3, 2, 1. There's the music. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Okay.
All right, later, bro.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. Tonight is a call-in show. The phone number is as follows, 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. But remember, if you're going to call in, try to be nice, because no matter where you go, there you are. Who is going to be our next lucky caller? Looks like 612 area code. 612, you're on with Strange World right now. What is on your mind?
Hello, Mark. Wesley Stage Flat Earth News Talk. Wait for it. Go.
Wes, I told you, and then my attorneys told you you're not supposed to call into the show. The restraining order isn't just a physical thing, all right? Just want to let you know that.
I tell you, I keep using those damn things to wipe my ass.
That's nice. So apparently cease and desist means nothing to Wes from Flat Earth News. And I'm going to read you a quote. I'm going to read you a quote early because apparently I'm really bad at looking at the screen. The quote from the peanut gallery is, "There are only two places in the world where time takes precedence over the job to be done: school and prison." And that's from William Glasser.
Oh, that is classic.
I know, right?
And if anybody and has been listening for the last year, they would know exactly what that meant.
Yeah, except it sounds like you're driving at the moment. I don't know how exactly you got away.
I'm out and about. I'm just waiting for a bus. I'm on my way home.
Oh.
So I'm trying to stay in this area where the cars aren't making a lot of noise.
No, that's fine. It's actually not as noisy as you might think.
Oh, well, I'm hoping it's not. That would be cool. Hopefully we're not going to have any problems like we did last week with my technical. I still don't get
your technical odysseys are. I'm sorry. Say it again.
What's that?
Your technical odysseys are led. Oh my God, we're doing it to each other again. I'm just going to let you talk. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I'm hoping that it won't happen like it did last week. You guys picked on me so bad about my mic not coming in and out. I don't get it because I did a show right after that, and it was perfectly crystal clear. I don't get it.
It was so funny.
Unless you guys are just messing with me. Yeah, your mic's not working.
No, we were not. That was absolutely genuine laughter. That's what made it so great, is because you couldn't tell what was happening, and it just sounded like, the technical soup sandwich that it was. It's like, wow, it was brilliant. It was really, really good. So thank you for that. I needed that laugh.
No, it was fun. It was fun. I know you guys are just jesting with me, no biggie. Anyhow, bunch of bullies is what I hang around with. Oh, there's my bus.
Okay, man. Oh, hey, right. Don't miss your bus. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, take care.
Okay. There goes Wes on a bus. Isn't technology wonderful? He can call into this show and jump right on a bus. All right. Let's pick up 619 area code. I think so. 619. 619 area code. What's going on? You're on with Strange World.
Hey, Mark. Is that me?
Yeah, it's
oh, okay.
Unless this is an elaborate voicemail hoax.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So, here's my issue. The theory of that rockets have no propulsion in a vacuum, right?
Right.
Okay. And I've been watching these videos and these freaking morons that call themselves debunking this theory, right? None of them are doing it right.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have like the one guy that's putting it in okay, so he sucks the atmosphere, there's no air in there, but you still got the propulsion of the rocket against the glass, against the plexiglass that he's got in this. You still, the only way to really do this.
About the Mythbusters one, where they were trying to do like a little firework in a glass case?
Yeah, Yeah, and I've seen a couple other people do kind of the same thing. But I mean, it's so. And you know the thing that's really screwed up about it, all these dickheads got the comments disabled on their videos.
I know.
Right.
I know.
Because they know they're full of it. So the only way, I mean, in my opinion, it seems like the only way that this could really be done, hopefully successfully, is to use like the atmospheric chamber at NASA.
Right.
You know, you need a huge zero atmosphere so that the propulsion, the inertia from the gases leaving the rocket don't have a surface to hit.
Right. Right.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? So if you hang a rocket, you know, just a little, like one of those little rockets that you can buy at the hobby store.
Right.
You get one of those, you hang it by a string in the middle of this big chamber, you suck out the atmosphere, and you light the sucker off and see if it goes anywhere.
Well, you can't use that type of rocket because that type of rocket uses conventional combustion, which means it needs an external oxygen source, which was the biggest problem with the Mythbusters experiment, which is why they cheated. So I bought a rocket. In fact, there's a whole bunch of tests you can look up on this, and that is trying to get rockets to function in a vacuum. And if you're using just like a solid fuel rocket, like a firework, basically a modified, powder-based rocket, it's never ever going to work because when it can never actually light. There's nothing. You can't even get the freaking fuse to light. You'd have to use like an electronic fuse, and even then, you're not going to be enough. So what MythBusters was, they cheated, and they a little bit of oxygen in the chamber, which basically made it, not even a partial vacuum. And then it lit off, and then of course it pushed against the glass and lit off. But the thing shouldn't have never done anything. But because they needed it for their production, they had to do it that way. So what you're saying is close. You would need the big NASA vacuum chamber or the one over in England, and then you'd suspend something in the middle of the room, right, on wire or string or whatever it is, and use some sort of tiny liquid oxygen, hydrogen, combustible, little mixture type thing, like basically a miniature version of the ICBMs that they use. And then maybe you got a chance, but nobody's going to make a miniature version of that. It's just never, ever going to happen. But to your point, I got to answer this real quick because there's some people going, "What are you talking about the rocket thing?" For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So when you're pushing off against the ground, when you're running, your feet are pushing off against the ground. When you're swimming, your feet are pushing, and your legs are pushing, and your arms are pushing against the water. And the same thing with a propeller on a boat, and a propeller on a plane, and a jet airplane, because even that is pushing against the air we're in, which is why planes can only go up so high. Remember, we're in kind of like a thin version of water, where it's 4 parts nitrogen to 1 part hydrogen. I'm sorry, 1 part oxygen. But when you get up to space, supposedly there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing to push off of. So what exactly when a rocket
and
gets
as
up?
a matter of fact,
go ahead.
As a matter of fact, the atmosphere in space actually draws away from any inertia,
right, or
from any combustion,
right. Right. It's ridiculous. Oh, there's so many fun things. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, which is why when I did Clue 13, I talked about the spacesuit. And if you look up the old Globebusters, Globebusters had a wonderful old video that they dug up from the 1950s and early 1960s when they were trying to design a spacesuit to combat the vacuum. And they started with fabrics, and they said, okay, fabrics aren't going to work because it's basically a balloon. So they started working with plastics and metals and sort of these hybrids thing. And at the very last minute, they switched back to fabric, and then they just used it with fabric from then on perfectly. Not a single problem. It's like, well, how'd you pull that off exactly? How exactly did you make the fabric work? Oh, we just did. It's like, you mean like a Hollywood? Like a Hollywood movie just does what it does. You just don't talk about it during the movie. It's like, how does that technology work? Doesn't matter. It works. Teleporter system totally works. Phasers, all that stuff. Light speed. We got it covered. Really? How does it?
It's just suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, that's really all it is. And same thing with a rocket in space. But because the average person on the street doesn't understand why it doesn't work, that's where they run out into problems, which is, well, you're the rocket thing. You're absolutely right. What does a rocket push off of when it's in space? Yeah.
Right. I mean, well, that's the problem I have with just about everybody I run into is they have no basic knowledge of pretty much anything.
Yeah.
You try to talk. I mean, when you try to explain, okay, well, the moon going around the Earth. Right. How come when it goes around the Earth on the other side of the Earth from the sun, the gravity from the sun doesn't pull it towards the Earth?
Right. Right. Oh yeah.
You know,
the moon.
You got the gravity from the Earth plus the gravity from the sun pulling it when it's going around. You got the sun on one side and then the moon on the other side. Why wouldn't the sun, double the gravity of the Earth and pull the moon right into the planet?
Right. Oh yeah, there's all sorts of fun things about the moon. I don't want to get into it. I could do a whole show on that. Where, again, the moon is way too big in relation to every other planet supposedly that's out there. All the other planets, the moons are really, really tiny, and then our moon is just gigantic by comparison. It's a quarter of the diameter, which is amazing. I mean, all the Jupiter moons and Saturn moons and everything are tiny, if you believe it. The fact.
Yeah, I mean, just the. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say just the mere fact of its perfect position, its equilibrium between its speed and the pull of the Earth's gravity,
right.
And it to be spinning and also rotating at the same speed to where we only see one side of it all the time.
Right. Exactly one side.
Just for that just to fucking happen. I mean, it's come on.
Yeah, the stats say that it would never, ever happen like that. And we're talking, by the way, if you don't know what we're talking about there, meaning you only see one side of the moon. It revolves perfectly in sync with the rotation of the Earth to where you only see exactly one side of it. And we're talking, it doesn't even alter a quarter of a degree in a year. Or 10 years or 100 years. It's always the exact same side. It sounds, I'm not going to say it's lazy because I would never call whoever built this place lazy, but it is an awful big breadcrumb. So there you go. And I know mainstream is going to say title lock. Anyway, I'd love to talk to you all night, but unfortunately this is a call-in show. So I do have to pick up.
No problem.
But thank you for
all right,
calling
man. You have a good one.
Hey, have a good one. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so let's jump over. We got time. We got plenty of time. By the way, the number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And the Peanut Gallery says, shout out to Zulu for putting the Peanut Gallery in his slideshow. Big smiley face. And it must have been important because he did this twice to me. And he also said tidal lock is what it's called, how the moon is locked in. It's very convenient, tidal lock. Like the moon is controlling the tides. That'll be the day. Okay, let's go all the way to the other side of the country to 407 area code, which could be Florida. I don't know. Maybe it might be Florida. So you're on with Strange World right now. What's up, 407?
Hey, what's up? This is FE Disciple. What's up, Mark?
Another day, another show. Flat Earth steam rolling the competition. What's up with you?
Nice. No, not much. Just here listening to the show and all. But I just wanted to add something. I just wanted to see what's your take on it and what would you do?
Okay.
About the books in the Bible.
Okay.
A lot of these churches they go with King James Version or NIV version, right. Blah blah blah. But the CJB version is the complete Jewish Bible.
Okay.
And I looked in the Genesis section,
okay,
and it clearly says the dome in place of the firmament.
Sure, why not?
DOME.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a. What would you do? Like if I was to go to my pastor and try to say, hey, why are you not teaching us this?
I would go at him a different route and just sort of come up to him sideways and say, hey, look, there's a lot of people talking about this in different churches, and this is true. This is not a lie. There's a lot of churches talking about this because a lot of people want clarification, and that is whatever Bible that your congregation is using, is that talking about a flat Earth? And Rob Skiba, credit to him, he has done, well, of course, and Zen Garcia and Robbie Davidson and a whole bunch of other guys. But Rob Skiba made that wonderful website called testingtheglobe.com. And he says, really, it's amazing to watch with whoever the pastor is, them hold on to Isaiah 40:22 like it was grim death, like it had veto power over everything else. It's like Isaiah 40:22, he who sitteth upon the circle of the earth. And they say, well, say that he says circle here. And it's like, well, circle isn't a ball, circle isn't a globe, circle isn't a sphere, especially not in the native Hebrew. So why are you using Isaiah as the only verse? It's seriously, it's like literally the only thing that can hold on to. And so if you're talking to whoever you're talking to, that's what, you kind of lead in with that, saying, is there any other thing else other than Isaiah 40:22 that talks about what the shape of the world is? Because, and which is why in the clues, even though I did not call out chapter and verse, I mentioned one specifically, which was the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel makes absolutely no sense if it's a spinning ball. Because if you've got talking about this gateway structure to the heavens on a spinning ball circling around the sun, it's just a needle on a basketball that's just spinning around doing nothing. But if it's a stationary structure, it's doing something. And of course, the one I didn't pick because I didn't want to get too preachy was Joshua, which was, if you know that story, which is Joshua asked God to hold the sun and the moon in the sky for an extra day so he could slay more enemies, and which he did. And for God to hold the sun and the moon in the sky, if he stopped the solar system, the physics reversal that would have to happen at that point would be massive. You say, well, God is infinite. It's like, yeah, but God's also efficient. I'm saying God, all he did was like, yeah, that's a piece of cake. He just hit the pause button on the sky and the sky just stopped and nobody got hurt. And because, back then they didn't know anything about cosmology. But you try to do that on all those speeds on a spinning ball that's going through space. Oh yeah, good luck reeling that back in. So yeah, it's just tread carefully. Don't go in saying that you have all the answers. Ask him for the answers. That seems to be what's drawing the pastors in is congregations are coming to them and saying, hey, I'm hearing a lot of things out there in the internet about, that the Bible may be actually a flat earth book. What's your opinion on it? And all you have to do is have them dig in, and they can only go one of two ways. They either say, you know what, and I've seen it both ways, whereas they come out and they say the earth, let's go back to the old school and say that the earth is flat, or they'll say, you know what, I don't want to make this congregation look like a lunatic asylum. So we're gonna stick with science, which seems a little hypocritical. Oh, you lash out against science.
That may be the way that it may go.
It might. I mean, a lot of people do. Which, as you know, and be gentle with them, but saying, hey, look, can you really cherry pick like that? Can you say that science is, that our enemy from, and it has been the church's enemy for a long time, separation of church and state. A long time, 500 years, as a matter of fact, science has just been beating people over the head with textbooks. And now you're going to come back and say, oh, well, they're not wrong about everything. It's like, well, yeah, but this is a pretty big thing, considering your book says that it's not what science says it is. So anyway, yeah, that's all I can give you for that. I mean, it's going to be. I'm curious.
Well,
you'll have to give me a follow up after you talk to him.
I'm gonna attempt to record this. I'm serious because
it's out there.
Because I know
a copy of this will be out on YouTube tomorrow morning sometime. So you can use whatever you want. Play it for your pastor. Absolutely. And if you can't,
I'm going to record the conversation that
I
have with the pastor. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know that he's just going to. When you ask the pastor a question, he's going to have three answers ready for you. So he's going to pick and choose which answer he's going to give you. Right. So that's got to be careful.
Yeah. Again, don't rile them up too much. Just come at them from a concerned citizen standpoint, which is what a lot of them do. It's like, look, I've got something's weighing heavy on my heart, Pastor. Okay, what is it? And if, and you can blame me if you want.
It's all right because they know I'm kind of controversial and I have to work on that. But anywho, I want to give a shout out to Zulu One. That's the first flat earther I've met in person.
Everybody, there's so many people that are giving shout outs to Zulu.
Shout out to Zulu.
It's amazing.
I met him in person. I met his father. He's a great guy. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Zulu, if you're listening.
So thanks, Mark, for accepting my call. And
hey,
you accepting my call. Thanks for talking.
All right. You have a good rest of your night.
And I am on the channel. I have a wrench, and my name is FE Disciple. FE Disciple out.
FE Disciple. Got it. I will look for you, man.
See ya. Bye.
All right. Okay, do we have time? Yeah, we have time for one more. For the break, let's pick up. Let's go in the middle of the country. No, then still East Coast. Let's go to 423. 423 area code.
Yeah, we have time for one more.
Tennessee. And you got to turn down your radio. Oh, don't make me say it. There you go.
423 area code.
Hey, you got to turn down your radio. 423. Oh, rookie mistake, man, and you hate to see it.
Yeah, I goofed. Hey, Mark, this is Doug that used to live in the other Pittsburgh, the real one.
Right
on. But anyway, hey, I checked out Capricorn 1. It's on YouTube. You can watch the whole damn movie for nothing.
Right on.
And mind-blowing how scary it was.
Yeah. What would you like the most?
Well, simple thing was just him jumping in saying, hey, guys, we have an emergency. There's an emergency. You got to go. You got to emergency. And, of course, they're like, oh, well, okay. And they, hey, your life depends on it kind of thing. And I was like, holy mackerel. They could have done this with, Apollo 11. So,
yeah, absolutely. They could have. And I think they did. I really, honestly, truly think that the entire Apollo training program, which was represented so well in the movie The Right Stuff from 1983, Oscar nominated, by the way, lost to Gandhi with Ben Kingsley. I think that was the real thing, which was these guys were going to be heroes. They were trained to be heroes. They were Boy Scouts, and they were hardcore military men. And then after the training was done, it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, you don't get to do anything, and here's why. And that wrecked them. They didn't know what to do. It weighed heavily on their hearts, and they became recluses. And the Capricorn 1, brilliant concept. If you guys haven't seen it, it's 1979, 78, 79, where 78, same year as Superman the movie, the first one, where they were faking a Mars mission, where they were saying that there was some technical problems, and they had to fake the Mars mission. So they took all the astronauts out to a sound stage in the middle of the Nevada desert, I believe, and they shot the footage and passed it off as real. And some of the techniques they used looked awfully close to what they were using in the moon missions. The only difference was they were doing it on a red planet. If they had, changed the color, in fact, somebody should take the color scheme and run it through a video editor and change it to like black and white, and show. You know what? I may do that myself. I may actually take some of the Capricorn 1 footage and turn it to black and white, because I think it would look very close. The slow motion stuff and the delay in broadcasting. It was brilliant. It was really great stuff.
And, the fact that you're saying, listen, we have everything pre-recorded from your practice missions. And I went, oh, my gosh, of course they do. They have that all laid out, and they were able to put it all together. And what cracked me up is myself being a Capricorn, I'm watching this thing. And then when I learned that, all these fake missions happened with Nixon in charge.
Right.
And I had the same birthday as Nixon, so that used to be cool till Watergate came along, and then I shut up about it. Okay. But it was funny to, watch. Not funny. It was good to watch this. And then also, you're talking about The Shining in Room 237.
Yep.
So I've been watching the documentary on that, and I've ordered The Shining and Clockwork Orange and one other movie. I'm sorry, 2001.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
They have it on Blu-ray. $12 or giving it away. I'm like, no way. So anyway, I have that coming in the mail.
Right on. Hey, you got about
Can't wait to watch those.
30 seconds to the break. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Hey. No, well, it's all you guys. I appreciate all the great work and all the inside scoops on things, and great job, Mark. Keep going, man.
Well, thank you. I'm going to keep going until this gets resolved one way or the other, and doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. So,
all right. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks, man.
Catch you later.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You got it.
All right, so we got about 10 seconds. So the phone number to call, we'll pick up North Carolina when we come back from the break. Phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And there's the music. So hang out for a few. 3 minutes to be exact.
Frequency Radio is your number one.
You are now tuned into the Truth Frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Major Kong. Major Kong. Primary target the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the threat board? Nothing. All right, tell you what you better do, old buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a flash and bump everything up to condition written. Stand by the floor on the base. Major Kong. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine. What about me? It's great to be fine. What about me? What's happened? You see the string in my neck scarring. What about Major Kong? I never told you.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World. Part are we on? 3 of 4. Go figure. I actually lost track for a second there. I was doing stuff between the break that seemed important. And it kind of was. So we're doing a call-in show, and we are going to pick up 910 area code here in just a second. The phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Let's pick up 910, shall we? 910, you're on with Strange World right now. It's just you, me, and probably several million people, so don't be nervous at all. What do you got?
My line is unmuted. Okay.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting to tell people that when that the first thing anyone hears when I pick up their phone call is your line has been unmuted by some female voice, I believe, part of an automated system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple for the guy with his pastor or his preacher, or whatever.
Sure.
Ask him about archangels. Where they get the arch from?
But that's good.
I got one. I think we need to really talk more about is rainbows.
Sure.
And where they get their shape. If the preacher believes that this is God's promise, and he's showing it to you as a promise,
right,
that he will never flood the earth again, and that rainbow is solid and it's shaped like a dome with no openings, you see,
in
those colors, it means the windows of heaven are closed. So I don't think anyone who studies Scripture, God would just put a rainbow up there because it's pretty. Hey guys, I promise you I won't do that again. This is real pretty. Look at this.
Yeah.
Really? Come on, guys. Really?
Absolutely. And have you seen the
why
video?
Does it have that shape?
Right. Have you seen the videos of when helicopters fly over the top of rainbows? What it looks like from up there?
No, tell me.
You should look it up on YouTube. It's fantastic. It's like you're flying over a giant rainbow sports stadium. It's really? Circular. So not only is it shaped like a dome, it is a dome. It looks like you're looking at a giant upside down salad bowl when you got a pie enough in a helicopter.
You can do that in New York. You can take a mist and you can walk around. I seen a guy do it in his yard. But you can walk around and just watch the dome from every angle.
Yeah. It's amazing.
But guys, I mean, that's what we got to look at. I mean, why is it that shape? Can you make a rainbow shape like that in the house? And if you do, what did you use?
Right.
Was it a dome shape?
Right.
Hello.
Right. But remember that we can create rainbows indoors, but it needs two things. It needs water and a reflective surface.
A mirror.
Well, some sort of reflective surface. But when you're outside, where is the reflective surface? The rain, that's easy. You got the rain, but what reflective surface is causing the rainbow? That's very, very interesting.
And see, that's another thing with the rain. This is one thing I want to get out there, and I know people know this. I know you know this. That each little individual raindrop is not casting this perfect bow shape. No. But the thing is, guys, it was God's promise not to flood the earth, and you see it every time it rains almost, right?
Right.
You see it somewhere. Oh, I don't know if you had other calls or...
No. I know. Well, before you go, I want to mention real quick, and also, I mean, since we're doing chapter and verse here, note that one of my favorites, and I'll take credit for at least trying to amplify the thing, was Wernher von Braun's headstone, which was Wernher von Braun, the father of rocket science, the father of NASA, and he came, on his headstone, which should have been massive in my opinion, and it wasn't. It was this very, very subdued headstone, which said Psalms 19:1. And what is Psalms 19:1? I didn't know. I had to look it up, and it says, "In the firmament shows his handiwork." Basically translated, the dome shows his handiwork. Why would the NASA guy, when you hear rocket scientist jokes, you're talking about this guy. Why is that guy talking about a dome covering the world?
I got something real perfect for you now. I was just talking to another guy who's a Christian guy. These people have renamed heaven space, and they're doing the same thing that Nimrod did, which is they're going to the heavens, they're making a name for themselves, and they're telling you where you came from and what you're on,
right,
and where it's going. So they're God, right?
Right. Or as I like to say sometimes when people talk about the space, I say, God made the sun and the moon, but it was NASA that told you how big they were and how far they were away, and took really good pictures of them.
It's very clever. It's very clever when they change the names of things from like heaven to space, or from Persia to Iran, or so we just lose track. Yeah. But I appreciate it, man.
Hey, thank you very much for calling in, and don't hesitate to call again. And just like that, even without saying goodbye, I didn't even have to mute him. He just literally disappeared off the screen. He was that fast. And with that, it's now a perfect chance for anybody, because the phone lines have now, finally, in segment 3, have opened up. I literally am staring at no calls. So if you guys want me to read emails, and the chat room is probably going, no, don't read emails, or if you didn't want to wait for who's going to like that, didn't he explain that? Yeah, it's good. Sorry, I was reading a thing. I do have Skype open during this call. So, and there's Peanut Gallery saying, no emails. And people are calling my cell phone, which is great, guys, but I'm not forwarding my cell phone to, and I used to do that. I used to forward my cell phone to the show line during it, but I think I surprised too many people because they didn't know they were actually going to be on the show. So if you're calling my cell phone to get on the show, you can't. That will not forward automatically. So you got to call 213-233-3998. Oh, and just like that, yeah, I see what's happening here. You guys don't like me reading emails, so now the phone lines fill up. Okay, so let's go with we're going to do North Dakota first, and then jump over to Middletown, New York. All right, and there's Florida. All right, North Dakota, you're on with Strange World. I bet you. Are you on the road right now?
Yes, I am. Always.
I don't get a lot of calls from North Dakota, so I'm assuming you are in a truck somewhere, driving it at a high rate of speed.
65 going down I-80. Just got into Iowa.
Well, you don't have to lie to make friends. It's okay. You violate a few laws here and there. It's fine.
I'm not speeding. Actually, the speed limit's like 70. So
That's
yeah,
all right.
yeah, really.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So good.
That's okay.
So
All right.
what's on your mind?
Right. Well, a few things. I haven't watched your new Clues yet. I have it on my watch later list, so I've been waiting
watched
for a time I can.
Clue 13.
No, I haven't.
They're not even that long. You don't even have to watch them. All you have to do is listen to them. But they are pretty good, if I do say so myself. Clue 13 is called The Lost Nail, and Clue 14 is The Code of Credibility. So watch those if you get a chance, because they have wonderful subliminal hot sex.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So the last caller was mentioning. Well, you mentioned Werner von Braun.
Right.
So on July 4th, I'm driving on some backwoods highway in Alabama, heading towards Madison and Huntsville to get to a drop and make the drop. And I'm leaving, and I'm going down another little highway, and then out of the darkness looms this huge rocket. Just from, and I could tell it's something space oriented, and it looks like a Titan space rocket. I don't know what it was. It was a museum of some sort in Huntsville, Alabama. I am assuming they have some sort of an Air Force base there or military. And then I pass this little sign as I'm passing these rockets on display, and there's a sign that says the Von Braun Museum. I'm going, oh my goodness, they actually got a museum for this guy.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a big deal.
Yeah, of course he would. Yeah.
He was.
Well, why there and not in Florida? That's what was my question. It's like Alabama of all places, you know.
Right.
Why do they have a space center there?
Hard to say. Sure. You got to remember, it's tough because he worked under, how many presidents did he work under? Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, and Nixon. He worked under all five of those guys.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, he could do basically anything.
Wow.
Anything he wanted, and he was alive when Roosevelt was president. On top of it, but Roosevelt wasn't the guy.
Oh
he died.
God, yeah.
He died before he could grab him. But I'll have to look him up just to figure out why. I'm sorry. His thing was in. I'm sorry. You say Los Angeles?
No, it was in Huntsville, Alabama. Did this museum to him?
That is really weird. There must have been I don't know. Maybe he was fascinated with the South. A lot of people are. I mean, you got to remember back in his time. No, this isn't a joke. Back then, you got to remember Gone with the Wind, which was in the golden age of movies, 1939. It was a big deal. That was a movie that was in the theaters for a long, long, long time, and in adjusted dollars made a ton of money.
Oh yeah, I do. I remember that. Yeah.
Because international audiences were fascinated with the Civil War in the United States, and he would have been in Germany when it first came out. So maybe when he finally came over, it's like, I want to spend time in the South, that over the top elegance and all the pageantry that the South had. Who knows? Maybe that was what he fell in love with. Hard to say.
Yeah, I suppose so. That could be.
Maybe.
Anyway,
I'm
that
taking
was one thing I wanted to say.
All right. What was the other thing?
Yeah, the other thing is, have you noticed how the chemtrail shapes have been changing?
No, I have not. I have not.
Have you noticed how they're now starting to weave around a little bit to mimic like real clouds, so that when they disperse, they look like organic shapes instead of a straight line?
Mm-hmm.
I've been noticing that, like, I don't know, the last month and a half or so, going across the country. They're still doing the straight line chemtrails, but they got these other ones that are like kind of weaving around. That it's like, really, guys, you think that that's going to fool us? That's because you can look up and you can see it's being formed, but they're kind of moving around up there so that once it disperses, it just looks like an ordinary cloud.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Huh. Oh, hey, by the way, Peanut Gallery already solved the Alabama mystery for us. He said that there was the part of the space program was being built down there. National attention to the Redstone Arsenal and Huntsville, with widespread recognition on this being a major center for high tech back in the day. And it was back in the 60s, it was apparently that was a big thing, and so he was spending a lot of his time down there. So
okay, well, there you go. That's
yeah.
Okay, and one more.
Okay,
what
do you got? One more. What do you got?
Yeah. Okay. One more observation. Okay, on Monday morning, early sunrise, we were in New Jersey. And just got there, and on my way into New Jersey, I see the moon, and the moon's at like a quarter crescent, and it's in the east. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, it dawned on me, it's almost, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going, why is the moon in the east? So shouldn't you be like way over in the west? And so I kept watching it. And the closer I got to our destination, which is right in Jersey City, it was still there. And lo and behold, the sun is starting to come around, and it's getting lighter, and the moon's still there. Oh my goodness, wow. This is a little unusual. Why isn't the moon then totally lighting up? Because it sets this crescent with that sharp demarcation line. So that was an observation I made. It reinforced in my mind how it's self-illuminating. Yeah, because there's no way that the sun beams should be bouncing off of that, the moon if it's a rock. And actually, there really shouldn't be a sharp demarcation line like there is. It should be like gradually, fading out on a sphere, like as a light source would do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just, that was another thing. It's just like Monday morning, early. Everybody was up and on the East Coast.
I love that you are out and about keeping the world honest. I love that.
Oh, and by the way, Kansas is really not all that flat. It's Illinois.
There's some, you've driven around. There's some pretty flat. Nebraska is pretty flat.
Nebraska's pretty flat. Yeah.
And Florida actually is, it's really, not only is it flat, but it's low. It's really, Florida is at pretty
very
much
low,
sea
very
level.
Flat, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Very boring to drive through.
Yeah, done it myself.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No, just a shout out to everybody in the community there, and almost made it for the Salton Sea experiment, but didn't get a chance to.
Well, that's okay. You'll get to see the whole thing on National Geographic soon enough. And
yeah, that'd be great.
Well, hopefully. I think they're going to probably rip us to shreds, but that's okay. They are a science group, so if they didn't, I'd be more surprised.
True. Okay.
All right.
Well, you have a good night, Mark, and wonderful show. Thank you. Keep it up, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good one. Drive safe. All right, let's jump over to who are we jumping over to? We're jumping over to 845 area code. This could be New York. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
I love when you do that. I'm a terrible singer, and I cannot follow you up.
I'm not that great a singer, but I've watched Starman
You're
enough
awesome.
that I love grabbing that one. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's when Jeff Bridges, the alien, tries to imitate a little bit of Sinatra. It's great.
You know what? Next time I call in, I'll do it William Shatner style, spoken word.
Or you can just play a recording.
Spreading the news. Yeah. Oh man, how you doing this evening?
Good. A lot of things happening. Getting ready for the Canada thing in less than a month up in Edmonton. Kind of getting ready for.
Wow, already?
All right. And there might be a meetup down in Los Angeles that in probably 3 weeks, maybe. where I'm trying to get confirmation on that. There's a little documentary team tied to a very big YouTube channel that I don't want to mention yet until it's a done deal. But if that's the case, maybe going down for another meetup. They were going, oh, can we do a meetup? And you know how that goes. Shoot, it feels kind of like an animal study. It's like, can we shoot flat earthers in their natural environment, in their natural habitat? Like,
but
if
they see us, they'll know we're observing them.
Exactly. We'll disguise it with beer and pizza. That'll throw off the scent of the media. Yeah. Oh,
too funny.
Yeah.
Too funny.
No.
You've had some awesome callers tonight. Holy cow. Amazing callers. And I wanted to just talk about the girl that just called, the trucker. I've been saying that same thing, that the moon, when it is waxing, you can see, when it is waxing and charging up, what I say, you can't see the whole moon. You only see that sliver that's lit. But when it is waning and dissipating, you can see the remainder of the sphere, of the circle, like almost like it's discharging slowly. Right. Yeah, I've noticed that, and I'm on the East Coast too. But I've noticed that. Me and Karen B were talking about that and trying to get people to just observe it and see if they're noticing it too. And it seems like I'm not the only one seeing it. Very strange.
Yeah, that is strange. Weird.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. And also, Space Camp was in Huntsville, Alabama.
Really? Space
I know.
Camp?
Yeah, because my brother
sense.
got to go, and I was pissy that I didn't get to go.
That makes sense, because if it was a big rocket building facility back in the 1960s, then they would have been using it for, it's like, what else can we do to get this thing, since the budget dropped off. And I don't know if anything's happening in Alabama now.
No, not that I know of, that's for sure.
Well,
too funny. Hey, I got a moon quote, actually.
Okay, what you got?
Yeah, just because we were talking about the moon.
Yeah.
Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. And this is one of our favorite guys. You know.
Bill Nye?
That's right. Mark Twain.
That is so weird, because I have a Mark Twain quote for you. The Mark Twain quote says, politicians and diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh my God, yes.
Also Mark Twain. I'd never heard that one, and I've heard a lot of Mark Twain quotes. That's a good one, though.
Yeah, I like that. I just stumbled onto it. I was like, I'm gonna read that one tonight because it's true. And the only reason, again, I always try to make it pertinent to what's going on. I got triggered earlier today by the stupid stuff about Josh. I mean,
yeah,
he's a genuine kid. We all know people who know him for real and know what happened, and it's just
dude, I watched it live as it happened. Caroline was there,
right,
with the cell phone, just showing me. It's like, look, the paramedics are coming, and the red lights are in the background. The guys are walking in with the gurneys, and it's like, oh, okay, well, there goes Josh. So no, it absolutely happened.
Yeah,
I watched it literally in real time. So whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Any?
I know. That's why I felt it was appropriate today, because it seems like the people that you think are okay, and then they show their true colors, and I just don't understand. I mean, why can't everybody be upfront?
We've seen what I've said for a while now is that, as far as flat Earth goes, common side effects include just about anything.
Extreme paranoia.
Yeah, but you name it. If there's a side effect that's on the bottle of something, it's probably going to be tied to flat. But it's rare, But we have seen it with a small percentage of flat earthers. It's not like they go back to the globe, but man, they go into a dark direction where they're just the paranoia. Yeah, paranoia combined with aggression, combined with just malicious intent. It's not fun. But at the same time, it's not like they're hurting people. They're not shooting up things, but they do go after.
No.
What's weird is they go after members of the community. That's the weird part. They don't go after family or friends or anything like that. They go straight at the people that turned them that way. And it's like, all right, you want to be mad at us, that's fine, but we didn't force you into the flat Earth, box. You decided to do that voluntarily. So,
exactly. You came in here on your own.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I just
twisted. That's, by the way, how we will escape the whole cult label, in that we don't go out and start canvassing places and drag people in and put red robes on them and ask them to buy people Rolls Royces. It's in fact, all we do is like, hey, by the way, think about flat Earth, and then run away. It's kind of like putting a smoking turd bag on somebody's doorstep. You light it on fire and you run away. That's kind of what we do sometimes. And once it gets on their shoe, I know it's a gross thing. Patricia's probably going, "Why would you use that reference? Why would you use?"
Yeah, she's like, "Why did he go there?"
Why? But it's true. Once it gets on your shoe, I like the marble in the paint can better. But once it gets on your shoe, it's really tough to get off. You're walking around the house going, "You smell that? There's something. What the hell?"
Actually, that's probably the analogy that the ballers use and the Globers use. And Jesus, like I stuck in dog crap and I can't stop thinking about this.
It's covered in it. Hey, you get about we go to the last break. What? I'm supposed to say the Peanut Gallery says make sure you wish a good get well to George Clooney. For those of you who don't know, George Clooney was killed on an Italian highway tonight. No, he wasn't. He was in a scooter.
He was in a slow speed scooter accident.
He was in a slow speed scooter accident. I think he hit the hood of a car and he walked away. He was on an island in Italy, and because even when he does little minor fender benders, he does it cool. The only thing he didn't have was.
I'm sure he looked really cool.
He probably did.
I believe you. I believe you. He probably looked dashing.
Whoever was in the car is like, probably looking in disbelief. It's like, am I in a movie right now? What happened? Anyway, you got 20 seconds. Any shout outs? Go.
All right. Shout out to everybody. Love you guys. Nathaniel, Candy, Karen, Patricia, Caroline, Uber, Jibby, Larry. Oh my God, there's too many people. I just love you all. I'm glad that you're my friends. I'm glad that you're my friends in real life as well.
All right,
you make it good for me, man.
Award, get off stage. All right.
Yes, thank you, and I'll step off stage now. Thank you.
Play the music.
You're the man, Mark. Thank you.
His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 4 of 4. And yes, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album Night and Day. And yeah, by the way, thank you for everybody who sent me things. I have multiple reminders in my chat box on Skype saying that, oh yeah, don't forget the Joe Jackson quote. Really? There's that little thing that I came up with just because I missed out on being a disc jockey back in the day because nobody asked me to. It didn't even occur to me. All right, it is a call-in show. Let's see how many we can knock out before the day is done. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3 in the queue. So if anybody else wants to call in, it is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. I will try to get through at least 5 or 6 in this segment. Let's jump over to California. How about 510 area code? You were on live. Last segment. What are we talking about, California?
It's your boy, Pittsburgh, California. What's going on, Mark?
The impossible city, Pittsburgh, California. Hey, what's happening out there? What are you doing?
Oh man, just got off work. Timing couldn't have been no better.
Good. Have you been listening to anything so far?
Yeah, I was listening to my big brother, listening to his live stream via YouTube. So
right on.
With that, it could be a little bit behind. So yeah, it was kind of ironic that I was able to catch him on the last call. So that was pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, it's always fun to talk to Mark, and then of course you sometimes will show up at the after show. You know, that little VIP thing that we do after the show.
I'll be in the backdrop.
There's quite a few people that just show up just to listen to all the silly things that we say that we normally would not say on the air, including me.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So I feel. Yeah, so some folks, I feel a little bit jealous.
It's all right. Again, it's a good wind down for me because I have to build out the show and attach all the slides to it and everything. That takes a little while, and I don't feel as lonely when I'm in a room full of people that are just saying the nuttiest stuff, and I try not to be distracted. So, any particular thing going on with you?
I have a question and a comment. My question is, so when was the vacuum of space discovered, and how did they, quote unquote, know that there was a vacuum?
A good one. When was the vacuum of space discovered? Peanut Gallery, I'm looking at you. When? Because remember, it would have been completely theory until you sent up something high enough that could actually penetrate and measure the lack of atmosphere. So at the very least, it would have been in the early 1900s when they were trying to come up with advanced rockets. Well, not advanced rockets that could go up any decent height. And the Germans would have been working on it as well in the 1940s. Now, it would have been theorized for a very, very long time, much like let's equate it to the core of the Earth, which is we still, to this day, if you believe in mainstream science, don't know what lies beyond 8 miles. They say it's 4,000 miles to the center of the Earth, and it's made of this molten nickel or iron spinning ball that's in the center of the Earth spinning. But we've never been down half or a quarter or a tenth. We haven't even been down barely even a fraction of 1% into the ground. So what are you talking about? So I'm sorry. So Peanut Galleries, he's gonna paste it in now, and we will answer Nathaniel's question. And I'm waiting for it. Peanut Gallery, paste it in. So we don't sit here in 1646. Oh, this guy. Yeah, Blaise Pascal. No, you're hearing that right. The Pascal, along with Pierre Petit, had repeated and perfected Torricelli's experiment after hearing about it from Marin Merissan, who himself had been shown the experiment by Torricelli towards the end of 1644. So everyone was just building off other people's work, but I don't know if anybody... I mean, I suppose you could have guessed by the amount of atmosphere when you went up to a high enough mountain when it would eventually, the oxygen would eventually run out. But then you would still have that bigger question, which is, okay, when does the atmosphere end and the vacuum of space begin? Where is that bleeding edge? Right. Where is that? And even now, today, science can't tell you exactly what it is. So, good question.
Yeah, I would love for Eru to, because he does pretty good at digging a little bit deeper at the origins of these individuals and so on and so forth. It's always interesting. Yeah. Right. So and it's just amazing the mental gymnastics that we have to do, but at the same time, it's been so cool that we're able to ask questions like this because, as we all know, we take these things for granted and we, never even thought to ask them. And then, me, I'm always just thinking about the simple things that as a couple of chapters and verses was coming up, just the simple things. And regardless if it was one of Von Braun himself who wanted that to be on his headstone or it's his family, the fact of the matter is, out of everything that they picked that.
Right.
And, that's one of those things. It's like, to me, it goes hand in hand with your challenge that you got going. Let's just talk about this. Why, of all things that he picked that simple thing. When whether he chose it or his family chose it, let's just say that he said, "Look, when I'm gone, this is what I want."
Right. Right.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But,
Again, out of all the things they could.
You know how we do it?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But no, just once again, just to mention gymnastics and how we would try to explain away everything versus just letting something be what it is, or just like really, really pondering and thinking about it, like out of everything he could have picked. So yeah, I just think that's very interesting every day that I think about it, and I'm glad that you constantly bring it up because it's something that needs to be pointed out. Like, look what this man is talking about. He's talking about a physical covering type of structure.
Right.
So yeah, deal with that.
Exactly. Right on, man. Cool. All right. Well, I will probably talk to you.
Hey, that's all.
Maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yep. Look, yeah. You probably be catching me on the late night show. And shout out to everybody in the chats. Special shout out to my big brother Zulu, man. He's becoming a fan favorite as he should. Wonderful guy. Yeah. And let's just say I'd rather be on his good side than his bad side.
Yeah. I hear you there. All right, man. You have a good one, and I'll probably talk to you later. All right.
Keep it flat.
All right, keep it flat. All right, let's pick up. I don't know if I picked up Florida already. This is why I need an in-house producer. 561 Florida. Have I picked you up before? Have I already got you tonight?
Yeah, you did. But real quick,
yeah,
I wanted to ask why you keep re-uploading all your past things, and I want you to get into the planetarium thing that you explained, because I didn't get it until like a good 2 years after listening to you, that no wonder you say there's a planetarium above us, because that's calling back.
Oh, no problem at all. Real quick, the reason why you guys have probably seen me, and it's a good point, I have not addressed it, all the re-uploads. It is because I used a segment of video that I believe, funny thing, I think it was National Geographic that bought the rights to it, or owned the rights to it. And it was just this little snippet of a pullback from a city in Europe to where there were these rings that were showing the distances between planets and then between solar systems and between galaxies. And I used it on a lot of videos when I spent my year up in Canada, up in Victoria. And they all of a sudden decided to block them. They said, "Sorry, you can't use these anymore." And seriously? Yeah, seriously. And they did it. It wasn't even like they did it all at once. They were doing 4 here and 3 here, and I was cranking them up as fast as I could. So basically, I went in and because I've got all the templates, and I just ripped out that video, threw it in a new template, and set it up and just started firing up as fast as I could. And I had to do like 20 of them, I think, before it was over. So it seemed a little overwhelming, but at the same time, I was like, all right, that's fine. And I expected it. I use a lot of copyrighted material. I use a lot of copyrighted songs. I use a lot of copyrighted video clips, and it's only a matter of time before some of them, decide they're going to, most of them block them instantaneously. That's the difference. Every once in a while, you'll get a straggler. I'll use the Joe Jackson reference real quick, which is Joe Jackson decided to go on tour in 2017. And when he did that, he said, anything that's up on YouTube, I want to block it. And when he did that, any Strange World episode where if the fidelity was clear enough, it was all of a sudden the Strange World episodes were getting blocked, but I could have those songs pulled out. So I had to go into them. And then ever since, I've been using a cover. So when you're hearing the Joe Jackson track, the notes and the music is pretty much the same, but you notice there's no voice over the top of it. And that is because I don't want to, until he decides to cancel all that, I don't want to deal with it. As far as the planetarium thing goes, you just wanted to know kind of why I bring up the planetarium as much as I do?
No, I'm just glad that you do, because I never got it until literally like a couple months ago. Like it makes so much sense. Like they can do that in a room.
Oh yeah. You
think
can.
We can't. Like the creatures can't do it right there.
Exactly. And I know it dates me a little bit because I'm old enough to remember to go when planetariums were fun to go to. Way before the internet, we used to do planetariums, and it's something we've been able to do with low, stuff in the 70s. I mean, you got to remember that planetariums, when on the weekends they would turn off the stars and the moon and all the planets, and they would put in like Laser Zeppelin and Laser Floyd and Laser Rush and stuff like that, and people get really high and stare at all the fun lights. And it's like, look, it's the same freaking projection system. That's how good, that's how easy it is to do. You just change it from a front mounted projection system, something that's projected from down here, to something that's embedded, I don't know, HD style in the firmament, and that's all you need. It's not that hard to do. In fact, it just drives me insane because people get so worked up on how they focus on the sky so much. And it's like, what? Because the ground stuff, that's not the hard part? That's easy by comparison? You're only relating to it because you're down here. You're thinking the sky is some mystical thing. And it's like, no. We can do a lot of this right now. The Truman Show wasn't just a movie. It was an exercise in what you can and cannot get away with. And they got away with it for a long time. Anyway, sorry, I was ranting. Any final? Go ahead.
It just seems so silly because if we can do it, why can't the great creator do it or create?
Exactly. Art imitates life, and life imitates life, and we are barely scratching the surface with our technology. We're devising amazing things every year, and we still can't hold a candle to this place. So anyway, I hate to kick you off again, but I still got 2 more calls I got to grab.
No, you're good. I'll talk to you again.
Okay. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right. Let's jump over to 858 down in California. 858, sorry you had to wait so long. What's going on?
No problem. Hey, Mark. Hey, did you see, sorry, I haven't been listening until only about the last 20 minutes. Did you see that Nikon officially announced the specs of the P1000 yesterday?
Yes, Karen B and some of the other people announced that the new P900 with the 125 power zoom, is that the truth of it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
125 and some 4K video.
Oh yeah, you think we were having fun with 80 power, 125 power. It's the what's the official name? The P1000.
P1000. Yeah.
P1000, and it is going to be something. It'll help us even more. Better resolution, better zoom. Any debunkers out there, you might as well go out and buy a P1000 and then get a bunch of tissues because you're going to be crying a whole bunch.
Yeah, I wanted to say something else too. I have the P900.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a lot of people do images of the stars.
Right.
And people need to be careful with the P900 because it doesn't really the autofocus doesn't work very well on a tiny little star. I mean, it works great on a moon, but on a star, I switched over to manual.
Yeah.
And then next to your right thumb is a little scroll, and it's really archaic how the manual focus, but you can bring those stars back into focus, and they don't quite look like we see online. That blurry star that we're used to seeing. They actually do get quite a bit more focus than that. So I just want to caution people to, when they're on stars, try to play with a manual focus, and it sharpens it up quite a bit.
Good tip. I like it. So everyone out there using a P900, see if you can switch over to manual and show us some images, what you're getting.
Yeah. Well, one last thing about the D Marble going and imaging the 24-hour sun for us.
Right.
Props for D Marble. I think it's cool for him to go out there. If he gets a crew next year, I think I might go with him. But one final point that a lot of people don't bring up that I really think is an awesome globe killer is it's kind of hard to imagine it. But if you're north of the Arctic Circle and you're seeing the 24-hour sun in a globe model, it would do more of a pendulum back and forth motion versus what you see, where it kind of it goes it sticks to the horizon and goes all the way around.
Right.
If you do if you really it's so hard to explain, because you have an object like the sun way out in one direction. It wouldn't go behind you. It would go back and forth like a pendulum. Just kind of something people should think about. I really think it's a globe killer that a lot of people don't talk about. Is the 24-hour sun being a globe killer?
Right on. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's all.
Any shout outs you want to give, or any?
Shout out to Karen B.
Karen B.
I watched a movie the other day, and I swear one of the actresses remind me of her. I think it's is it Deadpool? Deadpool's wife or girlfriend? I was rewatching that movie, man. That looks like Karen B.
Karen B was actually a stunt double for that woman, who also played a recurring role in Firefly the series and Serenity. Oh yeah, Karen's done a whole bunch of things. Yeah. Don't. She also was a top level security guard for the Stars in Los Angeles during that time. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, good talking to you, Mark. Keep up the good work.
All right. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. So we still got time. Let's go back up to Ontario, Canada. Ontario, Canada, you're calling for something else, aren't you? What's going on?
Well, you got my Firefly reference as soon as you mentioned the girl from Deadpool. So.
Oh.
I'm already shot in the foot, Mark.
No, that's okay. It's called synchronicity. By the way, Firefly, a wonderful series that was also canceled almost immediately because, for whatever reason, producers were idiots and they didn't know what they had. And the movie version, Serenity, which was directed by
Whedon.
Oh, yep, Whedon.
Josh Whedon.
Joss Whedon. Yep. Yeah, who's going to go down in history for basically building up the Avengers, and doing wonderful stuff with them. But huge fan of the guy.
And then, until he went to DC and screwed the pooch.
Well, there's some things you bring people in at the last minute. There's only so much salvage work you can do. Look at. Oh
no, he could have done a great job.
No.
Sorry. Yes. So. You were talking about your Joe Jackson and getting the tax or whatever that you couldn't put the
Yeah, I couldn't use the actual song. I could only use covers of the song.
Yep. Well, I just made a troll video for the Globe. It was absolute proof that the Globe is true or something stupid like that in the title. And then I rickrolled them.
That's good. A lot of people aren't old enough to even remember what rickrolling is. That used to be a thing.
Oh, I'm sure they know. How can you not know? It's so saturated.
I don't think they know. They don't know all the details. I mean, Rick Astley was still is a British singer who was big in the 80s, and big on MTV. But his problem was he looked so freaking young. There was nothing. I mean, he looked like he was 16 years old, but everybody thought he was a 35-year-old black man, the way he sung. And so they put him in videos and there was nothing they could do. It was like, put sunglasses on him. Nope, not helping. Pale confetti. Oh yeah, it was awful. So yeah, the rickrolling, and so they yeah, if anyone doesn't know what rickrolling is, it's when you take a link and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, super cool thing here, and you click on it and it's Rick Astley, usually singing "Never Gonna Give You Up" or that whole thing.
Oh, it's always "Never Gonna Give You Up," which is the perfect analogy for the Globe believers that still hang on.
Right. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna turn around, desert you. I don't know the verses. But it's a catchy song.
It's Red. Well, just Red's Rhetoric's, I'm sure, probably favorite song when he stares at the picture on his Windows.
Yeah,
screensaver.
Normally I don't like to say anything about trolls. My only comment with Red's Rhetoric is because he's the perfect example of the average debunker, the average globe debunker, in that he doesn't use his real name, he doesn't use his face, he keeps himself as anonymous as possible, and he takes horrible shots. He uses profanity. He name calls.
And I'm sorry to single him out. I didn't mean to single out one particular guy.
Oh,
my name's Brian. I live in Niagara Falls. I'm as transparent as it could pretty much be without being blatant.
Yeah.
Whereas,
trolls, they always fall.
I don't want to call him Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger. And
I
you
don't
and
want to call Red Ginger.
Oh, you think he's actually a ginger?
Well, not necessarily. I've heard many a rumor.
Maybe.
But,
I heard he was like a 17-year-old garage mechanic. I did. That's what I heard. Anyway.
I remember one time he had to mute the. Sorry. No, I'll stop.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But, there was this time that I heard him talking on a live stream, and I assume it was probably with Jaron, but I can't 100% guarantee. But he ended up just muting his guest, and it kind of sounded like an argument towards you got to take the trash out or do your chores. Because he's like, I'm busy. Like it's like a Cartman thing with his mom. I don't know. Total South Park.
Wait, where's my hot pocket?
This is going back. Well, my cheesy poops. But this is going back because you're longer than I am, of course. But I'm like 3 years, and 3 years is compared to the 30 plus and some that I've lived.
Right.
That's a long time to have a whole idea change of everything. And I know Candy is pretty close to the same time I was waking up. So
yeah,
shout out to I Spy and NASA Lies and everybody, and double shout out for Mark in New York, because everyone loves Mark. And,
guys get more shout outs.
We also love you, Mark.
Oh no, it's okay. Don't do me any favors. That's fine. You guys want to?
Oh no, yeah.
No, seriously, give Mark his own show.
And,
for God's sake.
TFR, are you listening?
Yeah, you're not helping, man. You are not helping.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. Patricia too, and looking forward to the hot potatoes tomorrow at 6 Eastern.
Yep.
And I'm not getting paid to make that plug. That's just me loving the hot potatoes secret show, because
I will be
you guys
on.
go off the rails. I freaking love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Tomorrow we are going to be wearing
Clue 14, right?
Yep, Clue 14, Code of Credibility. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing the lab coat back for regular America. Let's make America lab coat again. Yeah.
I have one quality that I share with Bill Nye, which I hate to admit.
What?
Only one quality.
What?
I like to speed walk. I walk fast.
Nice. That speed walk's a little different. Oh crap! Hey, we're leaving the show. We're ending. We've been talking so much. The show's actually ending.
I'm sorry.
I know it's okay. By the way, I'm working on Clue 15, which is going to be called The Short and the Long of It. Thank you out there, Ginger Sugarbush in Canada. And that's basically it. We're it. So I will be here next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. Roll music. Say goodbye, Canada.
great honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United States,